Hello! Day 5. That means it's the last day of our video challenge. Well, not video challenge, wrong video, wrong place. Our class. Oh dear. I'm getting all confused. Last week was the end of the video challenge. This week is the end of the Marketing for Crafters free classes. I do know what I'm doing, honest. Right. So. Oh, right then. I'm just going to linger for a couple of minutes so we can see if anybody's here. Hi Jane, lovely to have you here. Whew. I've just run up and down the stairs because I don't know if you remember last week. When the door closes, I seem to lose my internet, so I've made sure the door is popped open today. So, hi Jane, hi Kirsty, lovely to have you here. Anybody else say hello? Hi Terry, hi Liz, lovely to have you here. Whew. Right then, so today, hi Helen. So today is all about managing your craft business marketing, so you actually still have time to do the baking, because if you're not careful, it just feels like all you're doing is the marketing. So I'm going to jump straight in. Let's get started. So as I've done the last few days, I've done one of my little sheets, and you can see that the top one is all about automation, which is scheduling. So basically you need to get to grips with all the tools that are out there that enable you to get ahead as much as you possibly can. Well, it's the only way to do it, because really what you want to do is you want to have some time blocked in your diary, and you go, that's marketing time, and you use that time to get everything done that you possibly can. It isn't going to take away the need for all the real you contact on social media, so the checking in and answering and responding to people, but it is going to take the pressure off thinking about what it is you need to do each day, and just that pressure of feeling to spend hours at it each day. So first of all, the tools. I'm going to tell you more about what you're going to be using soon. We are going to be talking about actually planning the work, but right now let's just look at the tools. So the tools that you're going to want to be using are something like Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a Google Hootsuite. You will find it's an online scheduling tool, and you can schedule virtually any social media platforms on there. Now, you can schedule up to three for free. So if you can't find that, log in straight away, Google Hootsuite free, and you will find it, because you can have this like trial test account where your only limitations are you're limited to 3 places. So, which is fine, absolutely fine, because you can use the Facebook scheduler to do Facebook. So that's that one sorted. So you just do your post as normal, but before you post it, you put the date in at the bottom, click the arrow and sort that. Or you can, for Twitter, you can use TweetDeck. Okay, so for Hootsuite, you could use it for Instagram, or anything. You can use it for anything at all. The thing to bear in mind with Instagram is Instagram don't actually allow third-party platforms to post on your behalf, which is what happens when you've got a platform like Hootsuite. But what Hootsuite does is I'm sure there's other platforms out there like Prefer and all sorts of other ones if you prefer. What Hootsuite allows you to do is you put all your images in advance, you put your posts in advance, and then it will send a message to your mobile at the time that you've asked it to post. And you basically click OK, yes, 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 and that's it, done. So you do actually have to post at that moment in time, but you don't need to think about what to write, you don't need to find your images, because it's all there, it's all been magically sent to the app on your phone. So that really helps sort out Instagram. So that's your first tool. Tools are all about scheduling social media. Okay, so those are your first ones. So that was Hootsuite, the Facebook scheduler, and TweetDeck. Your next tool that you really want to get familiar with is Zapier. Now Zapier is a really, really clever little tool. Basically what it does is it sets up a system where when this happens, this also happens. Okay, so for example, if you have a blog post that's going out, you could set it up so that it automatically posts that blog post to Facebook for you. You're limited to 5, I think it is 5 zaps for free, but that's a great place, just a great way to get started with automation. So it's a brilliant little tool. Again, just Google Zapier and I'm sure you will find that. And that's just reminded me something I didn't do. The beauty of automation is it happens as you've set it up. When you have to remember to do it, like me now, it's easy to get forgotten. So if there's anybody here joining, here's the link who hasn't caught up with the previous videos, because this is class 5, this is just kind of like packaging everything together now and making it as easy as possible to do. If you have missed previous ones, there's the link so you can sign up for and get all the previous videos. See, that's why you need automation, because then it just happens and you don't have to think about it. So Zapier is a brilliant tool. When this happens, do this, and it's got that many platforms all included that the chances are everything you want is in there. So my next one is WordPress. So if you're blogging and you're setting up blogs, don't just set them to go live there and then. You could get your whole year's worth of blogs done. Don't be scared. If you did one a month, just one a month, I keep doing that with 2 fingers down, that makes it 2. If you did one a month, that's just 12 blog posts. You could actually sit down and write them all this week and then get them on your website. If you've got a WordPress site, you can easily just change and put the date in that you want it to go live, and then it's done. You haven't got to think about it. So it's about using those tools and thinking about how you can make them work for your business. You might think, actually, I don't really want to do a year, but I could do a month. If I'm going to do one every 2 weeks, I could do that just once a month and get them out there. It's up to you. Jane, Zapier is a new one for me. Sorry, I should have mentioned that to you before. Yeah, it's a really good little tool. We can talk about it this week if you want to. So your other one that I've got on there is retargeting adverts, because we've talked about it this week. It's been the whole essence, say this week, but last week, it's been the whole essence of these classes, that actually you've got to give people the chance to know and like you and trust you. That means they need to see you over and over and over again. You need to be constantly in their mind. So we know that's quite difficult. So another tool to use that takes the pressure off, it's not free, but it isn't that expensive either, is to use something like the Facebook advertising and retarget the people who have already been visiting your website, who are already on your email list. You can easily do that through Facebook. It's so clever, it's so simple, but it means you can target them with exactly what it is that you want to be telling them about right now, and it just happens for you. And you can do that from as little as £1 a day or up to £2, £3, £4 a day, and you only have to run it for a day or 2 or 3 or 4. It doesn't have to run for long at all. So you can see, as much as it's costing money, it's not, we're not talking massive numbers here. This is available for everybody. Hi Leisha. So you know where I'm going now, because I've just realised everything's at the bottom of here. So we've just already really quickly covered Hootsuite, Facebook Scheduler and TweetDeck, which means you can get ahead with all your social media. No excuses. Zapier, which basically Zapier is really good for just putting together all of those, hi Michelle, all of those loose ends that you've got. You can think, oh, I wish if I did that could happen automatically. Set up a Zap to sort that one out then. And that's that, it's pulling together those loose ends. It kind of, they talk to this platform and this platform and they link them together for you. It's really useful. WordPress, no excuses not having time for blogging, because you just need to get ahead of the game. And sometimes that means closing the door where you are now and stop thinking, oh, I wish I'd done this and I wish I'd done that, and I'm so behind. You're not. Just start afresh. Just start with a whole new plan and go from now, and put those blocks of time in your diary to go, right, now I'm creating a blog post. We will talk about in a few minutes about how you're going to know what you're going to put into the blog post, so you don't sit there and stare at a blank page. But you can get those done ahead of time. You don't have to wait for that moment when you are actually putting the blog post out there. That means that when you come to do any promotion of that blog post, when you do come out to share it, it's already done. You haven't got to write the blog post and then share it. That job's already done. It's all about scheduling and getting ahead. And then, of course, it was the retargeting. Terry, like Zapier, never heard of it. Oh, well, I'll make sure I put some more in the members for you. And then retargeting adverts, I must have kept that one as a kind of little secret for me. Didn't mean to. It's just never come up. So retargeting advert, the Facebook pixel and Facebook audiences. So that's that one. And now, that's it. Those are the main tools. I'm sure there are others out there. I'm sure there are loads of others that you can use. Actually, those are the key ones that will really get you started and really get you saving time, which is what this is all about. Okay, so next Next is, remember this is just a half-hour class. Anybody who knows me knows that I normally do go over, but I am aiming for a half-hour class, so I'm whizzing through these. Okay, is Zapier like? Yes. IFFT. Yes, yes, yes. This is very much like it. So, if this happens now, that happens. But yeah, we now want to look at a promotional planner. This means you are going to have, I've already mentioned it, you're going to have time that you block out of in your diary that is marketing time. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to get to that time, as I say, and have that blank page. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So the way to get around this is you spend time working on your business, not just in your business. So when you're in your business, that's the day-to-day. It's when you're making, it's when you're taking the orders, it's when you're on social media, it's when you're blogging. You are working inside your business. Yes? When you are working on your business, that's when you're doing that planning and you're working out what it is you're going to be doing next time you're working in your business. Makes sense? Hope that makes sense. When you're working on your business, it's something you might do every 3 months, every 6 months, every 12 months. It's up to you on the time limit, how far you want to plan ahead. But basically, I'm making this as simple as it possibly can, really just to get you started, because once you've got started doing this, it's so much easier to find your own pattern and your own routine that works for you. But the simplest way to do this is to give yourself a promotional planner. So, you can see this is all very vague at the moment. You would fill this in. I'm going to explain why each section is really, really important and you can't miss anything out. So first of all, we've got the date. Let's try and get that straight. We've got the date, and of course you would, if you're doing this for 3 months at a time, you'd now be doing, well, July would hopefully already be done, but you have July, August, September. If you were doing this for 6 months, you'd have July, August, September, October, November, December. So you'd have one of these for each month. Or if you're only doing 1 month ahead, then obviously this is all you need. I'm not doing well today. Whoa, am I making you dizzy? I do apologise. Now your promotion is your product. Now this promotion, be specific. This works really well the more specific you are. If you just kind of go, well, I'm promoting a business, I'm promoting everything, it's not going to work, because as soon as you sit down to do this, it's going to be, oh, well, am I doing that product, that product, that product? What am I doing? I don't know. So how do you choose the products that you're going to pick? You choose the products primarily based around your customers' needs. What do they need at this time of year? What's the right products for them to be buying? I know you already do this, but this is about formalising it so it works for a longer period of time. So it's much more structured. That way you can use all those other tools that we've just talked about and put all of this in place ahead of time, and you can just sit back and be all smug. Yeah, I'm sorted. So we've just not long had Father's Day. So for example, you would also already have Father's Day in there. When it was Valentine's Day, you'd know the end of January, February. I will say that actually, unfortunately, it's very rare that it works as well as just being a specific month. It's normally a kind of the 15th to the 14th, or however it works. This date works around your lead times. So if you've got a lead time of a week, that's your last deadline that you can send out, so anybody can get anything from Father's Day, for Mother's Day, for Valentine's, for Christmas, whatever it might be. That's your absolute cut-off time for your promotion. So that works around that, but it works around that. You start with the seasons, the occasions, and you start with all of those things. And if that doesn't work for you, or you've got some gaps, that's when you then fill in and put in the other products that you want to promote. So that's your first thing, but be really, really specific, okay? Next one. I'm not very good with when my hand goes like this. Next one, you can see I normally do screen shares. Can't do screen share like this. So, next one is the promotion. No, next we've done that one. Next one is purpose. I will get there in a second. The purpose. Why are you doing this? Now I know that seems like a no-brainer. You want to increase your sales. You know that. But the more specific you are, the easier it is to do this. If you know, you've heard the phrase SMART before. You've heard about having SMART goals. Effectively, that's what that should be. Your purpose is your SMART goal. What's your outcome that you want from this? You want that SMART, specific, measured, achievable, relevant, timed. So that covers everything that we've done so far. Specific, we want to be really, really specific about your product. Measured, that's You want to increase by how many? How many website sales do you want this month? How many, I don't know, sales of bags of jewellery? What is it that you want this month? Because that will really help you know how much pushing you do. If you only want to increase by 1, then you shouldn't need as much work as if you want to increase by 50. It kind of really helps you put and quantify what it is that you're doing. So you've got achievable. I've just, do you want to increase your sales by 50? If you're there going, oh, I only get 2 a month at the moment, then that's not necessarily achievable. So you do need to be within the realms of what can you do. So if you're kind of getting 2, maybe you'd like to increase to 5, or maybe you'd increase to 1 a week. Think about how it can work for you, but be really, really specific. So we've done SMAR, relevant. That is, it's Father's Day, if it's Mother's Day, if it's summer, if it's winter, if it's Christmas, birthdays even. Birthdays, anniversaries, upcoming weddings. You might think you can't target those specifically, but if you are prepared to spend some money on Facebook advertising, then you can, because all of that information is in there. You can target people who have got engaged in the last 6 months or any of that. So use those tools that are there. So, hi Linda, brilliant. I'm so glad you're enjoying this. Really, really good to know. Hi Annabelle. So, I shouldn't have looked. I've just thrown myself. Where would I up to? SMAR. Right, that was relevant. So your relevancy is, that's your first port of call. I know sometimes you might think that's a bit, oh, it's boring, I'm fed up with keep doing that. But it's what your customer wants. And this is all about your customers. So we've got the SMART timed. Well, obviously, that's what we're doing here, isn't it? That's this bit. That is your timed. You've made sure that it all fits in. So that's everything there covered. And now you put your plan together. Now, my plan here, I'm going to try and fold that so it's easier slightly for me to hold so you can see it. My plan here has no detail in it. You do need to add the detailing. You do need to be a lot more specific. So really, where I've got email, you would have an email's going out on this date, an email's going on this date, an email's going on that date. However many times works for within June. If you only send 1 a week, then you're only going to still send 1 a week. You don't want to bombard people. You don't want to go into overkill. You still need to do everything as normally as you possibly would, but this is about having it targeted. Oops, completely got confused there. Also, your social media. Think about where you're using social media. Before we were talking about scheduling, we were talking about actually using the tools that are out there to get ahead. Well, this is where you're specific. This is where you are getting out there and you are showcasing the work that you want to sell. It's no point, or there's no use in posting once and thinking I've done it. If you think that, say, I don't know, let's use Valentine's Day because the date never changes, does it? So Valentine's Day, Feb 14th. If you post once on the 1st of Feb and think, yay, I've covered it. No, you haven't. You need that consistency of going out. And if you schedule your posts, anything that talks about love and romance and everything else, all that way up, and you show your work and you've got images going out of your work and lots of lovey-dovey stories going on, that's your marketing for that. Way! I'm not very good at holding these pieces of paper, am I? Okay, so get ahead, get it all scheduled and planned. Advertising. I have just covered the fact that you can do advertising, particularly for retargeting. Advertising is good for getting in front of new people, but the real strength of advertising is remarketing. That's where you use the Facebook pixel, Facebook audiences. You advertise to your email list. It's brilliant. So get out there and do targeting properly on your advertising. Blogging. Make sure you're putting a blog out there that's relevant to your promotion. If you're selling particular products, I know that people who know me regularly are going to cringe because here I am with a pen again. If you're creating a product that happens to be a green pen, okay, and you're getting this out there and you're promoting it, please, 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 whatever you do, don't put a blog post out that is, here's how I made the pen. This is how you can make a pen. Let me show you how you can make a pen. No, your audience who wants to buy the pen doesn't need to know how to make one. They don't need to know how you make one. You're better to show them the uses of the pen. Look how brilliant my pen is. I love my pen. I can do lots of big writing and it's clear and people can read it as long as my handwriting works. But you're there promoting the uses of the pen, the benefits of the pen. Okay, so careful when it comes to blogging. That's one mistake I see a lot. Okay, get out there and get some guest blogs. Now, if you're ahead of yourself, Okay, if you've sorted this plan for June in March, then in March is when you get out there and you look for people and you see, is there anybody out there who I could guest blog for, who will put it out in June so it coincides with my promotion. You might even do this in January, depending on how ahead you are. But getting out there, knowing you're doing this in June, means that sometimes you've got to do work before then. And that's one of those guest blog. PR, exactly the same. This is your plan for your June product, but actually if you want to get out there and send press releases and get out there and be seen, you need to be doing this a lot earlier. You need to, even January, February, you need to be getting your PR out there. The bigger the publication, the sooner it needs to go to them, because obviously the further ahead they are. So if you've got any newsworthiness about your product, if there's anything out there that you can get out there with advice and get PR out, this is when you actually, because you're working on your business now, remember, this is you putting this together so you know what you're working on. You then can put a note in your diary that in February you're getting the PR out about your June products. Okay. I can barely read on the screen. It says offer stroke discount. So if you're planning an offer stroke discount, you know that you've got that to put in place. If you're doing any demonstrations anywhere, maybe you can get it at your local WI. Maybe you can do anything like that and make sure at times that the products are right for what it is that you're doing. Any events? Are there any events that would time perfectly for what it is that you're doing? And of course, video. You know me, I'm hot on using video at the moment for your business, particularly, as I say, just finished the video challenge. So, lots of ideas there that you can put together. Just very quickly, just in case you haven't had time to scribble it down. So, I now thought I'd give you an example of mine. Now, I have to say, this was done in retrospect to fit into this plan. But you must know that this free video series that I'm doing now is all about promoting my course, Make It a Success. I'm here to let you know about it, whilst at the same time giving you some amazing and really, really useful information. So, mine would look something like this. It's June. The promotion was for Make Your Way to Success. Specific product. I also have my members club. I also have a website course. I also, pricing classes. You name it, I've got it. But it's not about those today. It's about this one today. I have to be specific. Otherwise, you just get confused. And that's the same with you and your products. Okay, so next, my purpose. Okay, my purpose is because I do want to get more crafters onto my course. I know the value in what it is that I'm teaching and I want to get it out there. I haven't been specific. I haven't put a number on it. I would have done behind the scenes, but that's between me and my business. Okay, but my plan is using email, using video classes, which these are now, using social media. I've got an early bird offer and discount on, and I've had some advertising going as well. So, do you see? Do you see how it works in practice? But the further ahead you are with doing it, if I did July's now, you're going to have to if you've not done this before. But if you did July's now, then obviously to fit in the time for the PR and the guest blogging isn't really going to work. So, but you can do that further down the line the more ahead you are. So, Michelle, will the course guide you how to create the planner and how to plot the posts? Yes, in the last week. There's 4 modules for Make Your Way to Success. The first module is very much about making sure you've got all the basics in place for your business, as well as dispelling any doubts that you've got. It's giving you the biggest motivational kick I possibly can to encourage you to get you going, to make sure that you believe in yourself, because if you've followed me for any length of time, you know that I know that if you don't believe in yourself fully, then that comes across in everything that you do. Even the way you word your posts, the way you write things, the way you put yourself out there, you almost ask for permission. You can't be doing that. So that's week 1. Week 2, we go through the pricing. Week 2 pricing? I'm just getting confused. How do I make a blog? Week 3 is pricing, or week 3 is pricing? Ooh, I should know off the top of my head, but you have one of those, I call it a blonde moment, but I changed the colour of my hair. So one of the weeks is all about pricing, because there is no point getting you out there in front of a new audience, in front of any audience, and getting them buying if your pricing isn't right. If you're not making money, then it doesn't matter how many of the item sells. If this costing me, thank you, Jane. Jane's on it. Ideal Customers Week 2. Ideal Customer is all about who you're targeting. So this first section of who you want to get in front of, the know of this video series. So you really dig in deep in that and you pull together everything that you need so you are talking to the right people. its pricing, because there's no point selling this for £1 if it's cost you 99p to make. It's not worth the time. So we go through all your pricing so you get all that. And then week 4 is probably the biggest week out of all of them. And I'm actually going to do a little bit of an update as well before you get there. So it covers all the social media, it covers the scheduling, it covers planning. So all of that is in the last week. There's no point getting that right if you haven't got everything else right first. So that's what the course is for. Does that help? Michelle, I have good intentions and lose focus. That's what the course helps you for, because hopefully by the end of it you'll have yourself a promotional planner that will see you through till the end of the year, and then it's all about just keeping going. Actually, I'm going to answer a question that I've been asked previously that actually is kind of relevant to this. I've got the Members Club and I've got this course, and I've been asked about what the difference is for them. Well, the Members Club is all about keeping you going, giving you that support every single day for ongoing, for as long as you choose to stay a member. But that is what's there for. It's keeping you going, and it's picking you up when you're having a bad day, helping you celebrate when you're having a really good day, and everything else in between to cover as you need it. If you ask for advice, you get the advice. It's very much as you need it. Make Your Way to Success is giving you that information, that foundations for your marketing, so you then can go away and implement it all in your business. And just by having a regular slot in your diary and using the tools that we've mentioned here, you then get the consistency happening with your marketing, leaving you the time to do your making as well. Thank you, Terry. Yes, it is a brilliant course. I'll say that myself. But it is. It's a really, really brilliant course. Do you know, this is how good a course it is. And I don't think I've said this out publicly before, but last year I've decided, right, I need to upgrade. I need to renew it. I need to go through and refresh the course. And I actually sat and watched it. And I went, I can't make it any better. The only section that can be made better is the last week, and that's purely because of the updates and the changes in social media. And that we know the platforms are changing all around us. There's new things out there to use, there's new things out there to try. So that's the only section that ever needs updating. The rest, I genuinely sat there, right, this is my job, and I went, I can't make it any, I can make it different, but it will be exactly the same information. I can't make it any better. Thank you, Kirsty. Yes, and it's good to be able to refresh down the line because you get lifetime access to the course. Any questions about this, by the way, ask them now. That's what this time is for. I realised I've launched into a Make Your Way to Success pitch, and that is really what I was kind of completely about. Obviously, I was mentioning it, but it wasn't where I was going. But yes, you get lifetime access. So if ever you're having one of those kind of down moments, you think, I've lost the lot, you can go back and you can get back into the whole system. And of course, the pricing class, that's relevant forever because that's a downloadable spreadsheet, and you put your information in and it churns out all your numbers for you. There's even a discount spreadsheet in there that you can check and make sure that even if you put discounts on your prices, you can see how much you're earning exactly. Liz, I'm living proof you're advertising. Sorry, you've written quite a long one and I'm having to leave. Hold on. I apologise, I still haven't got my new glasses, so I'm looking all diva-like still in my sunglasses. Living proof advertising works. I didn't know about you or your company. One of my old uni friends shared your first live video and I was intrigued. Now I'm signed up for Make Your Way to Success as you focus first on the confidence, which is perfect for me. Can't wait to start. Brilliant! It's wonderful to have you with us, Liz. So, right, I am going to say something else about Make Your Way to Success. I've done something that I vowed I would never do, but there is a really good reason. This video was meant to happen on Saturday, and if anybody follows me on my Facebook page, you'll have seen that Saturday I was green. I was all sorts of different colours because I did a bubble run with family and friends. I'd completely forgotten about it when I set the date, so I had to move today's video to today. At the time, I didn't move the deadline for the early bird. The early bird did finish today. I woke up this morning realising that actually that really wasn't fair if you're only just finding these videos, bearing in mind it was meant to be Saturday, so it was finishing 2 days later. That was always my original. On my plan, as I say, I've mocked this one up just to kind of give you the prompt, but on my original plan, the early bird offer was always finishing 2 days after the video. Obviously it wasn't, it was finishing, I'd left it to finish the same as today, and I'd still got that in my head. So just so anybody is aware, I'm not trying to con anybody. I've extended 2 days, so it's still those 2 days afterwards. I apologise. It's something, I hate it when I see other people do it. It reeks of unfair marketing. You know, that bit of like, something finishes on this date, it should finish on this date. I'm truly believe in that, but I kind of was wrestling with myself, and I kind of thought, no, I wanted 2 days. So please, I am a genuine marketer. I'm not a dodgy marketer, but I have for once changed that. So, Helen, need to rewatch. She's got distracted by a new fabric today. Oh, exciting. I started using a plan this year, and I've improved remembering to advertise my items. It's brilliant, but it's not all about advertising. It is about all your promotion. It's about, I've got too many pieces of paper today. It's about having all of this. Oops. And anything else you can think of. This isn't an exhaustible list. That was everything that I just kind of wanted to throw down quickly because they're the most obvious ones. Yep. So any of those, it's about planning all of them and getting ahead. So, any other questions about, in fact, do you know what? I've got to do this. I've got to put the link up for Make Your Way to Success, haven't I? But there you go. Brilliant. So, Michelle, did I answer your question? Yes, but this is week 4. The very, very first time I ran Make Your Way to Success, a lovely lady called Annette did a huge review afterwards. It's kind of like an A4 sheet afterwards. And she says in the first week, she was like, oh, what am I doing here? This isn't quite what I thought, because it's all about the confidence. It's all about the being professional. It's all about having that right image, if you like, going out there as well and projecting yourself properly. And so this is what I want. But then it wakes, I don't mean it wakes up. Week 1 is really, really important. But week 2, it ramps up. I keep you going. We don't kind of start on a high and finish on a low so you disappear. We start and ramp it all up, so hopefully by the end you are raring to go and you've got your plans. So you're going to go out there and get it. So, I want to know more about your fabric, Helen. It sounds lovely. I want more fabric. I'm having to resist going out and buying it at the moment. So, I mean, my husband's been made redundant from his job in September, so I'm carrying on doing what I'm doing, but it does mean that I kind of have to be more mindful about what I'm spending money on, just in case. You never know what's going to happen. So, any questions? We've just hit the half hour. The secret, if you can call it a secret, to making sure you've got making time, making sure that you don't get overwhelmed by your marketing, is really in the planning. It's the planning and the automation. They go hand in hand. The more you can do ahead of the time that you need it. Instead of kind of go, I need to do something today because I need a sale in, help, get it out there. You need to be ahead of yourself. Liz, I'm resisting gemstone shopping. Ooh, lots of pretty things. Oh dear. Yes, thank you, Michelle. Yes, thank you. I'm glad I've covered it. I kind of went around there to tell you, because it is, but it isn't what the whole of the course is for. Okay. You're all being very quiet. Okay, so any questions? I did put that link on. I did put the link for Make Your Way to Success. Hi, Wemmy. Oh, I'm just wrapping up, Wemmy. I'm just on the verge of saying bye unless there's any other questions. Okay, so for any of my members, I will be making sure that all of this information is in the Members Club for you as well. So you can access that and dip in at any time easily. Kirsty, I struggle to find the best app actually to plan in. I find my best thing is pen and paper. I really, really do. I love online, I love computers, I love using a computer, but there's nothing to me like having a wall planner, pen and paper, and just getting stuck in. Gemma, I don't think I did. We start on the 3rd July, but the early bird offer finishes now on the 28th. So we start next Monday. I had to double check that I'd got that right then. I was sure it was right. We start next Monday, but the early bird offer, so you can get the whole course for £89, finishes on Wednesday. And for that you get a 4 weeks course, which is a module a week. You get me, and I tend to linger a little bit longer than 4 weeks, particularly if I know that people aren't going to be around, because I know a couple of people have contacted me already to say that they might be on holiday for a few days in the middle or a week. That's fine. I'm not going to disappear like a just out the door on you. You get 2 live Q&As. You get the Facebook group where you can ask questions as well. So it's all there for you to dip in and out of at any time at all. I'm also tempted at the moment to maybe do a few live videos just to jump in and check up on you all as we go. That will be a new thing I do because I've not done that before. So I have to start on the 4th, but I have to catch up. That's fine. The first week is the easiest one to catch up on. I've said that already. I sort of ease you in gently. You kind of think, oh, this is easy, I can do this. And then by the end you've got something like this. So, yes, I do love Make Your Way to Success, and when the energy is in there is great, and oh yeah, it can work really, really well. So, also, if there's anyone around who's already taken Make Your Way to Success and you want to redo it, let me know. You know, I'm more than happy to have you along for the ride. That's the other thing with it, that when you've got lifetime access, the lifetime access isn't just to the course itself. Lifetime access is that whenever it's rerunning, if you want to jump back in and get involved and ask more questions and support others as well in the group, then of course you are more than welcome. Do you use a special paper planner? I use Trello, but I'm not crazy about it. No, other than my planner. I actually bought our planner last year. I put this together just for me. I wanted it to look right. I didn't want something that was scrappy all over the place. So I put this together for just me, and I ended up selling it as well. Only a handful of copies really, because I hadn't set myself up to do it. So if I use anything, it's this. So I am planning on trying to do a downloadable version of this, but time doesn't let me. So I've got, you get a month, you get a page that tells you, yikes, it's going to have some improvements before next year, but so you get what it is that you want to work on. You also get this, which helps me, and I know helps lots of people who've bought this already, keep target, because it's all about tracking what you've done in the previous month, so help you inform what it is you want to do the next month as well. What else is there? We've got an expenses sheet for tracking expenses, and then there's a page which is reviewing. So that's my main tool, but I do also scribble on pieces of paper as well, and one of the things I'm very, very aware of is that actually I want to include something like this into the planner next time. So this time there was a starting point page. You can see I've got several versions of this planner, so I've got bits of mine all over the place. You've got dreams and what you want to achieve by the end of the year, goals and targets, what you'll do this year. As I say, half of mine is in my original one. I ended up swapping planners when my new one came through, and I've got this page as well. So it's kind of, it's what you're committing to, and then there was a section for writing down 52 ideas. I have got some in there. So yeah, so there's all of that going on as well. That is my main tool. You've got the months in there, you've got the weeks in there. I am having a real rejiggle of it before next year, and I hope to have something out again. But it will also have something as simple as that in, so I'm thinking of just doing one of those for each month as well. Kirsty needs to join again. Of course, I think I'm reusing the same group as last time, Kirsty, so I think I checked it already in there. Make sure you can find it. Looks fab, lots of space to write in. Yes, I wanted lots of space to write in. I like writing lots of things. I like scribbling lots of things. As I say, it will be having a bit of an overhaul and a bit of a change. I need to put some time working on my business. It's got to that kind of, I need to plan the next 6 months now. So yes, that's got to fit in. I'm not here to sell the planner, by the way, but you asked me what system I use, and I use that. The reason I came up with this last year was exactly as you've said, that I was using paper system, and I was just using piece of paper all over the place, and I was doing my best to put it all in one place. I didn't quite succeed. I didn't quite put everything in that I needed in, and I haven't quite got everything in the right order. But as I say, it was the first time I'd done it, and I'd done it just for myself, really. I printed one to start with, came on and showed it on the video, and was getting requests, so I kind of had to rejiggle it a little bit quickly for everybody. But I do want to add something like that in. Yeah. So, completely off target, completely off plan. If dye doesn't suit, when will the next course be? Oh, September or October. I haven't sat down and worked out my next half of the year. September or October. But remember, Gemma, if you sign up, I don't know what offer I will put on next time. I really don't know. I don't know how I'm going to work it. I don't know what the pricing is going to be. I haven't got that far. If you want to sign up now, just kind of dip in and out a little bit, knowing you'll redo it next time, you can redo the whole course to get the Q&As and get the Facebook group and everything next time as well, if that worked for you. So you can redo it at any time. Liz, love the plan. I'm a heavy writer too. Tend to write it down and forget it. I do, and I really found a phase. I was just, you can see I write on pieces of paper, and if you're not careful, they disappear. The other thing I'm doing, just to show you, why not? Oh dear. The other thing I'm doing that I found that really is working for me is I've also got a project folder. So this project folder, again, this is just printouts, and I don't know if I'm able to work this into the planner. I might just have to do these as separate downloads. But I've got a project sheet. Hey, that's where the front is. So I list everything in the front, and then everything's got a section. So everything has a page, so I can see what it is that I need to do. Anything that I scribble on a piece of paper can get shoved inside there, and then I can put all my notes on there about what it is that I do, and this also means I can find it all when I go back. So for example, there's the video challenge. I've got a quick prompt to remind me what I did each day. I know what I did each day, but you know what it's like when you come to do something again. And actually that's on the back instead of the other page, but that's a download that I had. So that's in there as well. So there you go, I've got another job to do there. Even keeping my website updates, I've got a list of all of those in there as well. So that is just a really simple system that just, you could have one of us for each month, and it also means that come next year you've got all the information again should you need to repeat anything. So my workshop is covered in sticky notes. Oh, I've been there. I've been there. I'm determined not to be at the moment. I'm scrunching up paper, so excuse me while I sort out that part. And I just dropped a pen on the dog. Sorry, Jess. Oh dear. Right. So yeah, there you go. Completely off tangent, but I suppose it's relevant, isn't it, to plan. That's how I organise. I've got my planner. Didn't come with those. I will say, for anybody who's watching thinking they haven't got those, they were taken out of another book that they happened to fit in at mine. So I've got those. I've got my green folder, which I put down, which I shouldn't have done. I've got my green folder, and if I do kind of get into a mess, I've also got this little sticky pad. This is brilliant. I love this. Right, so last week was really busy. It was just me trying to prompt my videos, remember where I was. This was £3.99 from Tesco's, and they're stickies. Look, they're yellow, they're little stickies. I like them. So you've got the month, you can have the month schedule, and you've got on the back you've got a week one. I love those. I really need them, but I thought they were, I just kind of, they're not pretty. They could do with being a bit prettier. I just, stickies. Stationery addict, aren't we all? So I like the fact I can just scroll on, I can stick it in front of me, and I know where I'm at. Though I still managed to forget my dates. Did you just see that fly flying through the background? I hate flies. Right, I'm still waffling. You don't need me to waffle. I'm assuming, as I haven't had any questions about all of this, that you're all happy. Remember to use the tools that are out there to automate. That's the secret to getting out. It really, really is. And if you can block out 2-3 hours a week, whether it's as a chunk or whether it's split up, and just be clear that where you're working to your, what am I going to do? You look at your plan and you're then ticking things off as you go. Yeah, there you go. It's automation. Everything in marketing is so much easier than you think it is. We have a habit of making it so much harder than it really, really is. And the real magic key is the consistency. So if you can get your planning, so you're working on your business, so then you know what you're doing when you're working in your business, and you can get ahead and get scheduling, and you're consistent, wow, the magic will happen. Okay, any questions? I really hope I'll see you over on Make It Success. If you want any more help, that will all the foundations in place for you. And I say, and you'll get to the point where you've got, I've sort of put my original other one, so I've got this version out. You'll have one of these for yourself. Well, hopefully, lots of these for the whole of the year. That's the plan. Okay, so on that note, I'm going to go and leave you to it, because yet again I'm over my time limit, but at least we covered everything and more. So that's the wonderful thing. Okay, I shall speak to you very soon. Any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Speak to you soon. Bye.